So now let's take a look at the timeline. This is where you manage the frames and layers of your animation. Right now, everything is just on the first frame of layer 1. To make the animation longer, you can come out later on the timeline. These labels are the number of frames, and above that is the time in seconds. And then hit F5 to add a frame which extends the layer. And then when you play the timeline with Enter, it will play till the end of the longest layer. You can extend it by adding more frames with F5, or hit Shift F5, which removes a frame to shorten it. Of course, it's just holding the first keyframe for the whole length of the timeline. So in the middle somewhere, let's hit F6 to insert a new keyframe, and then change the drawing. Or I could hit F7 to add an empty keyframe and make a whole new drawing. If you want to change the timing of your keyframe, you can drag them around on the timeline. You can also copy a frame with Ctrl-Alt-C and paste with Ctrl-Alt-V. Or you can just hold Alt and drag a frame to copy it. You can also shift-click to select a group of frames and do the same things. Then a super important feature of the timeline is onion skinning. When this is turned on, it lets you see previous or future frames while you're editing the current one. This is really important for doing in-betweens on drawings. You can also onion skin just outlines if that makes it easier to see. Next to those is the Edit Multiple Frames feature. With this turned on, you can select a range of frames, and I can select Move or Edit the contents all at once. Now so far we've only dealt with a single layer, but you can also add other layers with their own frames and keyframes on them. You can lock a layer if you don't want to accidentally select or edit it. You can make the layer visible or hidden, or you can put it in outline mode to see its outlines. You can also right-click a layer and make it a guide layer. This means it will still be visible while you're working, but not be visible when you export. It also has a different use when we talk about tweens in a later video. Another important feature we're going to use a lot is called Distribute to Layers. Suppose we make a drawing made of several pieces or objects, and we want those each on a separate layer. You can select them all, right-click, and Distribute to Layers, and now each one is on its own layer. Now when you get a lot of layers, you might need to organize things into folders. So you can click this to make a folder, and then drag layers into the folder. And that's all you need to know about the timeline. Next, we're going to look at one of the most important concepts in Adobe Animate, symbols. We'll go over symbols in the next video.